quick reminder, my filmmaker retreat in Joshua Tree is October 1st through the 4th, 2026, year 5, everybody. It's a small group of real working filmmakers. I want you to come be a part of a special community, take part in honest conversations, and just take time to think out in the desert. And the food is fantastic. That's where all the magic happens, really, is we all eat our meals together. If you've been craving connection, transformational clarity about your career or life, and you really want to define your voice as a filmmaker, this might be right for you. So DM me or sign up quickly. It will sell out. Oh yeah, there's plenty of Magic Mind at the retreat. That's the mental performance shot that I drink daily. Okay, let's get on with the show.
It's time for Respect the Process, a short chat about commercial filmmaking. Here's your host, director Jordan Brady.
Oh, wonderful, Helen. Thanks for joining me tonight. It's a Sunday night, April 26, 2026. No one really cares, but it is episode 691. Now, we're coming up on 700, and I'm so grateful for those of you that just started listening, or those of you that have been with us for a long time on and off. I hope you get value from the show. If you have a topic in mind and you think that I've interviewed someone, whether it's from the crew, a director, a DP, clients, or ad agency executives and creatives, email me, jordan@commercialdirectingfilmschool.com, and I will point you towards a couple of episodes. If you're like, what is it like being a marketing director at Kellogg's, going on set making commercials? I'll give you that client's episode. What is it like being a creative at an ad agency that started directing? There's a handful of those people. What's it like being a female electrician? We've interviewed her. So just email me and I will point you in the right direction. I don't expect you to go through 691 episodes. But what I wanted to talk about real quick is how I think we need to be tool agnostic. Now, I'm kind of camera agnostic. I like the Alexa. I like the Alexa Mini for some reason, even though technically I don't understand the difference between a lot of the cameras. I shoot on the Venice a lot, but I'm taking the recommendation of the DP. Now, I do think it's sexy when DPs talk about lenses and they show me examples and then I can be involved. And I think they're just feigning collaboration with me. But I like to look at the lenses. I like to use an old school viewfinder. But here's the thing. I started off the year doing some AI projects. One I directed, no prompts. I say directed in air quotes because there was no humans involved. There was no set. There was no nothing. But I did the casting and the locations, and that was a blast. That'll be out soon. And then I've helped on some projects where it's AI mixed with live action. And then I did as old school filmmaking as you get. No script, just a bucket of money and a mandate to go make something. And Ben Brady and I met in the middle of the country. We captured an event for medical inflatables. Probably saw it on my Instagram or LinkedIn where this wonderful woman in Texas has these inflatable organs. And until you've walked through a 30-foot colon, you don't know what living is. You learn so much. She's got these placards in there. So it was a timed event. Like I said, no script. He and I with cameras, and we're interviewing people, run around, run and gun. So invigorating. And I love that. I love that process. To me, that's like golfing, right? I even enjoy the editing of that. Ooh, side note. Take the text transcription from Premiere and then put that in ChatGPT and it gives you the highlights. I know there's AI that edits, but I can't trust that at this point. So I lied. It wasn't 100% old school. There was a little bit of artificial intelligence helping me in the edit. But that to me is relaxing and golfing. And then the job that I just I'm not finished. We're in the edit phase. We lock picture, but there's CG critters mixed into a live action world. And I'm working with Untold Stories and my friends from LT, the agency, and it's just been a blast. Now, without tipping it, it is a continuation of the campaign that I did with Pat Finn, rest in peace, my dear friend. And that was such an emotional scout first day of shooting. We did a prayer for my friend, and a lot of the crew has been there 10, 15 years with us. And this is something totally different that I can't talk about yet. But like every day being in some of the same locations where you shot with a good friend and amazing, just super talented guy, it was different. I'll just say that. And no one could ever replace him on screen or in my heart, to be true. But the process of collaborating with Untold Studios. Did I say stories earlier, Helen? Can you check that? Get Jake to fix it. Untold Studios and the agency had not done as much of the CGI work as I have. I've done like Shrek and this little sales character for Thrive. What was the other one? Qualcomm, the little dragon. So I knew the process, but the level of collaboration from both agency, myself, from the get-go with the campaign, and then all throughout shooting and in post now, that's just a whole wonderful experience that I really enjoy because I'm clearly not the smartest person in the room like I usually am. And then coming up, I'm going back to the old school filmmaking again. No CG, no AI, just actors doing funny bits, and I'm going to film them. And I'm just going to point the camera and direct them. And that's, to me, the most fun. And my dabbling in AI, the irony is I've been using AI for the retreat promos and for my deal with Posh Duo that I'll tell you about in a second. If you got my newsletter, you know what I'm going to tell you about Posh Duo. But I've been using AI exclusively and trying out a different platform or a different, like, whether it was VO3 or Kling, now Seed Dance. I feel that I need to know these tools, so I'm trying them out. I posted this caveman thing today, and I shot it with this microphone on my laptop, and it was the fidelity and the consistency that it kept when it transformed me into a caveman was really good. And people have given me shit about it. Like, well, don't you think it's weird that you're using AI to promote a filmmaking retreat? And my answer is no, because I am tool agnostic. And the tools are here to stay. So I think you better learn them. And just like people champion shooting on film, or they want to try Super 16, or there's a Super 8 Film Fest, or, you know, with power comes not only great responsibility, but great throw your weight around status. If you want to shoot film and you can get people to pay for it, by golly, do it. I've shot 4 motion pictures on film and documentaries with camcorders. It doesn't matter. For me, the through line is, what is my point of view? How will I elicit laughter, because that's my gig, right, with the story that I've been paid to tell? And the paid part's pretty important. I do my own passion projects, but to continue to make a living as a commercial director, I think you're going to have to be well-versed in the tools. Now, the crazy thing about Posh Duo is it's my product. One, I have good-looking hair and a pretty decent beard. So I invented Posh Duo because I used to have this wax stick. It was this Japanese product, Tanjo, I think it was called, and I couldn't find it for years. So I invented Posh Duo, the 2-in-1 beard hair wax styling stick, not to get rich, although I have sold a few dozen. I wanted a product, and this was in the newsletter, I wanted a product that I could use to make commercials for, both as an AI experiment and with my, iPhone, and with my FX30, my little Sony, and with the Alexa, and coming up soon on the Venice. I want to try all sorts of mediums and put them on the different social platforms, and I'm just trying to learn. And if any of you ever want to do a spec spot, do it for Posh Duo if you're interested, because the brand voice is humor, and I will give you a brief. And it won't be a spec spot because, well, I'm not going to pay you. Let me just get that out of the way. But it won't be for either a fake product, which I try to dissuade people from doing, like a Saturday Night Live sketch, funny fake product. But you want to do a product that no one can call bullshit on. So especially if you have less resources than that brand would have. The classic example that I talk about a lot is if you're going to do a spec Nike commercial and you don't have LeBron or Serena or the hot athlete du jour and Chivo lighting with negative fill a full basketball court with a spotlight, you may fail and people will know it's a spec spot. But if you do a Posh Duo commercial and you shoot it with a small crew and great lighting and lensing, and I will help you with a script, or you can write it yourself, or get an ad lady to write it for you, get an art director to come out and help you, you will have a real spot for your reel. And so I'm using it to try out different AI platforms, like I said, and it's just fun. And I'm going to give a portion of the proceeds to Hair for Kids. Oh my gosh, it's on my website. I haven't publicly told anybody, but I'll tell you people because you're my friends. The people that make hair for wigs for kids that have lost their hair for during chemo. And I don't expect to raise a lot of money. I don't expect to sell a lot of these things, but it's fun. And if you're going to do something for fun, it's even more fun when you have a charity involved. So that's all. I just wanted to get that off my chest that you can't get hung up. I did a bit on set of Toyota a week ago. I think I posted I was talking about the Jimmy Jib, and we were trying to save money, so we killed the Techno Crane. I would love to have the Techno Crane, but I could help the budget by getting a simple Jimmy Jib. So I hand my son, Ben, the phone, and I go, hey, I'm going to do a bit. And I just kind of ad-libbed about how I love the Jimmy Jib, and it's the best tool. It's better than a Techno Crane. If there was a Techno Crane there, I would have said it about the Techno Crane. I'm not going to die on a hill for a piece of equipment. I mean, everybody chimed in, told me, I was crazy, told me about this tool, and it was great. It was great. It was fun interacting. I feel the same with AI and traditional filmmaking. Even though I'm throwing all kinds of AI on the social media wall, my passion is still working with people, the crew, the special effects people from Untold, my ad agency collaborators who gave birth to the project to begin with, and seeing how you can marry some of these tools, whether it's CG or AI. By the way, a lot of the traditional CGI effects wizards will tell you that AI's it gets a lot of attention, but it's not quite there. If you believed everything in your feed, you would think some of these studios would be going out of business. But the control and the consistency that CGI has. In fact, one project that I was helping on, we ended up building, we developed in AI, and then we recreated in CG so we'd have full control over the environment. And I realize that's changing. Boy, I hope this is making sense. I'm still talking. So let me wrap it up. Let me land this plane. All of these things are just arrows in your quiver. If you're a storyteller and you have a point of view, which is the whole point of the Filmmaker Retreat, find your voice. Define who you are as a storyteller, as a filmmaker. And, I love my Orrin Kaplan and Matt Enlow's podcast, Just Shoot It, and they posted a clip about commercial directors having a point of view. And I gave him a little text on the side, like, don't confuse point of view with style. I mean, Rian Johnson did Knives Out and Star Wars. Those aren't the same style of film. Wes Anderson's style is linked to his voice. Christopher Nolan, I would say his point of view is more, time traveling, time jumping, mind bending, and storytelling that makes you think by weaving the information and doling it out. Dolan Nolan, they call him. He doles out the information. Was that Helen? No one calls him that? No, I just made it up. So all of these tools, the different cameras, the different techniques, the cranes, the AIs, the Klings, the Higgs fields, the Luma, they're all just arrows in your quiver. The typewriter, the word processor, they didn't make great scripts. It was you people and your creative minds. So drop me a line if this made no sense. Drop me a line if you have questions about the Filmmaker Retreat. I will do, if you're retreat curious, I will do a one-on-one call and talk you out of coming. I literally, Helen, this is true, back me up. I talked a guy out of coming to the retreat so he could put his money into his short film. Because he wanted to make a feature and was going to make a short film as a sales tool. And I said, yes, we have documentary filmmakers, we have narrative filmmakers, we have people that work in television. We had someone that was a story editor last year on a reality show, loved the retreat, changed her life. But this guy, I just felt by doing the one-on-one, I said, don't come. Put the money into your short, because I could sense that was where his passion lie. So if you're retreat curious, hit me up, Jordan at commercialdirectingfilmschool.com or on social media. Pretty easy to find. And I will, I'll reach out, we'll get on the phone, and I'll tell you why you shouldn't come. And if you still want to come, oh, by golly, we got a spot for you. I think there's 10 spots left. We only take 15 filmmakers. And there will be Magic Mind for everyone every day. And if you need an afternoon kicker, the Magic Mind with the ashwagandha, the ceremonial grade matcha. The British, Helen, the British call it matcha. Yeah. The lion's mane, all kinds of good stuff. It's the only mental performance shot, and it is taking off. I've been talking about it for a couple of years. It's in Whole Foods, at the Air One. I think it's like $70 a bottle at Air One, and it's $3.99 at Publix. So shop where you will. I will be back soon with another guest. I am blessed to be busy. Oh, there's one last thing since you've made it this far. I did something that I rarely do. I usually take the bird in the hand. If I think I'm going to get the gig and another one comes, I'll try to ride it out and see which one's going to book. But if there's a conflict, I'll go with the kind of the sure thing, even though, it's never a sure thing until it's awarded. But I did a call. Great vibes on the call. Started a treatment. The scope of work and that pesky social, where I think a lot of agencies think that we're just going to squeeze it in between shots. And I tried to gently explain that the way it's all in your deck, it is a shot. So it has to be scheduled. We have to plan. It's not just we'll squeeze it in, we'll wing it, we're going to have to plan for it. And then the potential conflicting job came up. I had not even done the phone call, had not done the vibe check. And I passed on the other job because life's too short. And I knew they would find someone that was more passionate than I to execute that job. In fact, I'm getting out of the way for them to have a better time, someone who can do it for half the money and work 4 times as hard. Well, that's not true, but yeah, so that was hard. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and I never take it for granted. And when I get on a phone call with someone, even if I've worked with them before, it's thrilled to be asked to the dance. I'm thrilled to be pitching, and that's the gig, right? So I did a treatment. I finished my treatment this morning. Really happy with it. I don't have quite the panache that a lot of you people have. And I looked at all the AI programs to make the treatment look spiffy and do this and that. And I just ended up using, for those of you that posted on my LinkedIn, thank you. I ended up doing it in Google Slides with a little bit of Nano Banana and some, eventually made a PDF. No GIFs, no GIFs, no movies, no shot deck. I just made my own shit and put it out there. So fingers crossed. But that was a weird thing I wanted to share, that like, okay, I'm just going to pass and focus on the one I really want. And again, that comes down to knowing who I am as a director, that I'm going to be better at this than the other one. So, okay, if you have any questions, hit me up. Thanks for listening. I still have the online courses, still doing consultations, still making commercials. Super blessed. Okay, thanks everybody. This episode is brought to you by a new sponsor, Posh Duo, the original 2-in-1 hair and beard styling stick. I use it. It's made for filmmakers, handcrafted with beeswax, tea tree oil, a fresh hint of citrus, and a single Viking tear. Listeners of this show respect the process, get free shipping, and it comes in discreet packaging. There's a link in the show notes. Get the posh look.
Commercial Directing Film School's mission is to help filmmakers direct commercials professionally. With online courses and in-person boot camps, we demystify the process to get you to the next level. All taught by your accessible mentor, filmmaker Jordan Brady.
True Gentleman Industries. We make commercials.